It says the morning of the 31st. Happy Halloween. I just posted a couple of clips on Gary B. Pilot, and I started off by wishing people a happy Thanksgiving. I apologize for that, but like I said, I'm not getting an awful lot of sleep, and sometimes I can confuse things. Now, I don't know if this particular clip is done by automated systems or if it's real. It's a clip put up by Keith Edwards, and the title, Internet, J.D. Vance leaving his wife for Charlie Kirk's widow. Huh? Now, the reason I wonder if this is AI is because, personally, I think that J.D. Vance is bisexual, and I think his lover is Peter Thiel. If you don't know who Peter Thiel is the CEO of a large number of companies, PayPal being one of them. And Peter Thiel funded pretty much J.D. Vance's entire career. He got him into venture capitalist business. He got him into the Senate by paying, $15 million to get him elected. And then he picked up the phone and he called Trump. He says, I'd like you to make him your vice president. And Trump did exactly that. So who the hell knows? But let's delve into this 9-minute clip.
Okay, all right. I do not know what is going on because earlier today we posted a video that alleged that there is some trouble between J.D. Vance and Usha Vance and their marriage, and we've talked about this a few times. There's been things that have bubbled up that have made us go, that's interesting, that's weird. Why would they say that? Well, there's now rumors that what's going to happen is that J.D. Vance is having an affair on Usha Vance with Charlie Kirk's widow, Erika Kirk, and people are gagged about this because, as we showed yesterday, J.D. Vance does not like that Usha Vance has a different faith than him. And we know that MAGA will not accept Usha Vance. We've seen the racism in real time on X through Nick Fuentes, who's gaining more and more power within the Republican Party. And it's a real liability for someone like J.D. Vance. So that's why when we are seeing pictures like this, and I have more detail on that coming up, we know that there is potentially something happening. Now, first, let us just remind you where we are, where J.D. Vance said that he wishes his wife would change. And he said this in front of thousands of people.
And yes, my wife did not grow up Christian. I think it's fair to say that she grew up in a Hindu family, but not a particularly religious family in either direction. In fact, when I met my wife, we were both, I would consider myself an agnostic or an atheist, and that's what I think she would have considered herself as well. You know, everybody has to come to their own arrangement here. The way that we've come to our arrangement is she's my best friend. We talk to each other about this stuff. So we decided to raise our kids Christian. Our two oldest kids who go to school, they go to a Christian school. Our 8-year-old did his first communion about a year ago. That's the way that we have come to our arrangement. But, thank you. My 8-year-old was also very proud of his first communion. Thank you, guys. I'll tell him that Old Miss wishes him the best. But I think everybody has to have this own conversation when you're in a marriage. I mean, it's true for friends of mine who are in Protestant and Catholic marriages, friends of mine who are in, atheist and Christian marriages. You just got to talk to the only advice I can give is you just got to talk to the person that God has put you with, and you've got to make those decisions as a family unit. For us, it works out. Now, most Sundays, Usha will come with me to church. As I've told her, and I've said publicly, and I'll say now in front of 10,000 of my closest friends, do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that, because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way.
I'll never get over that. That is such an insane thing to say in front of thousands of people. And it really is him trying to separate. It's crazy to do this, but this is what he's doing. He's trying to separate distance between Him and his wife. That's what JD Vance is doing for political theater. He's saying, I'm on the right side of all of this. I'm a good Christian like all of you. And my Indian Hindu wife is on the wrong side. It's insane. It's insane. But that's why people are, there's now these pictures I'm going to show you. That's why people are like, well, there looks like there's something bubbling up. Now, Erika Kirk, in that same event earlier, said this about JD Vance.
Blessed and honored tonight to be able to introduce to you a very, very dear friend and his wife.
I'm sorry, I'm going to keep going, but I could not stand this act. It is an act. Now, I believed her. I know you didn't believe her when she cried at the memorial service. I believe that when she said she forgives the shooter. This shit is, to me, so fake. The looking up, wide-eyed, and just humbled by all. Give me a break. Anyways, here, let's keep going.
They are incredible. And I see no one will ever replace my husband.
But
I do see some similarities of my husband in JD. And Vice President JD Vance. I do.
Okay, good to know. Indian Hindu wife or Erika Kirk, blonde, Christian, trad wife. Interesting. Now, as I said, there is a reporting that said JD Vance slammed for saying he hopes his Hindu wife Usha will join Christianity at Charlie Kirk event. And someone said here, I bet he makes his wife wear an Erika Kirk mask when they dry up on Fridays. People are so creative. Okay. Now, here is what people are talking about, because this is how she dressed that day. Erika Kirk wore tight leather pants, and JD Vance dressed like the couch-loving vice president he is. But look at that hand placement. Will ya? Look at this. Look at the way she put her hand onto his head. As someone said here, oof, that would piss me off. Women watching, would this piss you off if your husband was touched like this by another woman? I don't know. I'm not married and I'm gay. I don't know. But I think I can assume that would make some people a little upset. Someone said,
he's not married, he's gay. That's interesting, isn't it? This is Keith Edwards. That's one of the hand gestures, I guess, I never really put two and two together with him, but he just said it himself. He's gay.
Said his hands on her hips, something is definitely going in here. And another person, and Shannon Watts just said it very clearly. Vance announces divorce, marries Charlie Kirk's widow by the end of 2026. So we have a timeline here. Someone else said most wives would be booting their men out of bed into the couch for this, but that's not a great option for Usha either, LOL. But again, this feels a little too intimate in my examination of it. And someone else said, I'm not JD Vance and Erika Kirk. I'm not saying JD Vance and Erika Kirk colluded to kill Charlie, but I am saying Usha is toast.
What's also interesting is the black and the white. That's Masonic bullshit. He didn't pick up on that, but I did.
Very well, maybe. Someone else said, did y'all see how Erika Kirk embraced JD Vance, all caressing the back of his head and whatnot? Child. Yeah. And again, someone said that JD Vance and Erika Kirk said that JD Vance is just like her lost husband. So I think there's some there. You let me know in the comments, more will be revealed. It's obviously that, look at this woman. This is not a happy woman. This is not someone who loves her life. Okay? And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. You reap what you sow, though. And if she didn't like this, she should have maybe done something before it all happened. But regardless, we're going to keep watching this as we do all things. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. And if you're not subscribed to...
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I sort of feel a little bit different about Keith now, knowing that he's like Obama, a poo pusher. And he's got 1.2 million subscribers, so he's getting a big check every month. So what do you think about Charlie Kirk's grieving widow going to hook up with J.D. Vance? Huh? I guess that's got to piss off Peter Thiel. Well, the whole world's fucked up. I'll attach the link. Let me know what you think. You know what Keith Edwards thinks. And you sure as hell know what I think. Don't you? Once again, folks, if your kids are out shouting, throw out whatever they pick up and tell them not to eat whatever they've picked up en route. And replace it with fresh product that you've bought for them. Stay safe. And thanks for listening.